Hello, everybody, and welcome to CinemaCast Episode 1. My name is Alex Whitehair, and with me we have a Chris Buhner.
CinemaCast? What? I'm here.
Yeah.
Hi.
God,
We have...
ruined
Chris,
it.
you blew it.
Chris, yo, ruined it.
Oh, I didn't
it was
realize.
gonna be funny.
April Fools, guys, that had you fooled from the second Chris opened his mouth.
You didn't tell me that's what you were gonna do.
You're just supposed to go with it.
Oh.
Come on.
All right, want to
Who else
restart?
knew what he
You
was
can
doing?
just
I knew
restart.
what he was doing.
I had no
we already
idea.
started.
I had
We already
no
started.
idea.
We know.
All right. Well, we also have Matt Hillman.
Hey, what up?
We got Alex Henderson.
Hi.
Rick Vavishu.
I really like movies, so I'm fine with this.
Yeah, right? I figured you'd be on board. And
I'm
Nick
on
Cooper.
board.
Hello.
So, hey, everybody. How was your week?
Hey.
And more importantly, how has your April Fool's Day been so far?
I quit my job. No, I didn't quit my job.
Oh, I was about to say, like, geez, that one
I thought
fell
about it.
flat.
I was thinking about going up to my boss and being like, "Hey, I'm quitting today," and then being like, "April Fools." But if he was like, "Oh, okay," I would have been really upset. So,
Yeah.
I decided
Like,
not
cool,
to
man.
do that.
Jeez, wow. I've been trying to find a creative way to get you out of here, but you just took care of it for myself.
Yeah, pretty much. And I was like, yeah, it's probably not the
Now
best
we don't have
idea.
to pay you severance. Good one. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. So,
yeah. Well, I have to say my April Fool's Day has been completely uneventful. I haven't been pranked, nothing. Nothing fun's happened.
wait, I pranked you.
What? No, that wasn't funny.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't really
That
work
wasn't
out.
funny at all, actually.
It's because Nick fucked it up, right?
Don't think so, actually.
Whatever.
No.
The plan was originally...
Had you actually tried to pull that off and you had joined here, I would have banned you from the server for as long as I could.
Wait. All right, hold on. We're getting
It's
ahead of
probably
ourselves.
about
Can I get some
40
context?
seconds before these
Yeah, let's-
motherfuckers fix it, but still.
Shut up, I need context.
Terrible thing to do.
God damn it, I need context!
Anyway,
Please.
no. So Hillman was running late, and Nick gave him a call, and Hillman's like, "Oh, tell them I got in a car accident." Like, come on.
It's rude.
You can't see it, but he's just got this look
It's
on his
rude.
face and just shrugs.
It's rude. I was offended. As a close personal friend of the Mr.
weren't.
Matt
Shut up.
Hillman, I'm mad. No, I'm mad.
So
Yeah,
my
I'm sure
original
you are.
idea when we heard this was to counter prank him and have, like, when he gets back, like, nothing ready, like the show's not started, and be like, "Oh my god, dude, are you okay?" And like call his mom, or I think Rick said that, or someone said like we should call Matt's mom and say like, "Oh my god, we heard Matt got in a car accident. Have you heard anything? Is he okay?" And like get your mom on board, because now she's gonna be freaking out, and they can all come back to your fucking stupid April Fool's Day. When your family's in a panic.
You know how like the fear is on these days when you have something planned out, like, man, what if this gets out of hand? We could just make it happen for him on something
Yeah.
really, really small.
Well, the job thing. That's why I didn't do it, because I was like, if this gets out of hand, that could be real bad.
Yeah. But
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
Whoa!
Wow, okay.
Whoa!
That
Hey,
was weird.
hey, baby. All right. Well, I wasn't here last week.
I know, it was
So
great.
do you want us to just ask you every question that you
No,
missed?
you guys didn't ask each other all the questions. Let me ask like 3 of them.
Yeah,
I was gonna-
chose
I was gonna ask you if you could bring up a new one of the ones you didn't ask.
Okay, we could do that.
But while you're pulling that up, I wanted to say a little bit about listening to the show while not being on it. I talked to Rick a little bit about this already. But so we have I've known all of these guys pretty much, except for Nick Cooper, whatever. For a really long time, like a really, really, really long time. Nick Cooper has been since added to that texture, and we've thrown it in a blender, and it's a delicious smoothie, whatever. And so basically we all have our own like pattern of speech, and we all have our place in conversation. Like, we know who's gonna laugh at what jokes and who to look to and stuff like that. And so I'm like listening to the show today, the podcast from last week that I wasn't on, and I kept hearing Rick make all these one-liner jokes. And then just the show just being silent because I wasn't there to laugh at them, but I'm laughing at them in the car by myself, just like, oh, I'm so sad I'm not there. God damn it.
Yeah,
I thought it was weird. It was a weird experience.
I'll try to slip some more
Yeah.
in this week for you.
That is definitely what happens when I listen to the show too. And sometimes I'll laugh at the same time that I'm laughing in the show, and then I'll be like, "Fuck, I'm so predictable.
Right. No, you're right.
Yeah, I know.
All right. I think I
Have
found
you
a
ever
good
listened
question.
to clips of the show and then just get completely confused and just be like, "Oh shit, why am I hearing like I'll pull out like clips and little bits and pieces all the time from either of the shows that we do, and then I'll just sit there and be listening to it, then I'll forget that I'm listening to a clip and I'll start responding to people, and then I'll just be like, "Oh god, that's my voice. Oh god, I'm not actually in TeamSpeak."
Yeah, that's weird. That's a little weird.
Yeah, it's always really weird to edit the show because I'll frequently do it while in TeamSpeak with some of the people that are on the show, like in the same channel. So then, like, all of a sudden, Chris will be like talking over himself, and I'll get really confused, and I'll have to like stop and be like, "Wait, which one was on the show and which one was just asking me a
Yup.
question?" But Chris, I found a question that another good one off this list. Is everybody ready? This is a throwback to last week's 23 questions I asked to determine if I could truly love somebody or something along those lines
Okay.
by Chuck Klosterman. Oh, hold on, I just scrolled up to find the title.
Wait,
and now
his
I
last
lost the
name
number.
is what now? Clusterfuck?
Klosterman?
Oh,
Klosterman.
Klosterman.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go. This is question number 12.
Chowsterman?
You meet a wizard in downtown Chicago. The wizard tells you he can make you more attractive if you pay him money. When you ask how this process works, the wizard points to a random person on the street. You look at this random stranger. The wizard says, "I will now make them $1 more attractive." He waves his magic wand. Ostensibly, this person does not change at all. As far as you can tell, nothing is different. But somehow, this person is suddenly a little more appealing. The tangible difference is invisible to the naked eye, but you can't deny that this person is vaguely sexier. This wizard has a weird rule, though. You can only pay him once. You can't keep giving him money until you're satisfied. You can only pay him in one lump sum upfront. How much cash do you give the wizard?
How much cash do I have on me at the time?
I mean, you can go to the bank and you can withdraw whatever you want, but you can only pay him once.
I don't know,
How
man.
much money do I have in the bank?
I can't answer that.
So I can pay him to make me more attractive?
So he
Yes.
said. So the scenario is that you're not sure how, but the other person's a little bit more attractive. So we can try to
That was just $1.
Right, we can
That was-
suss out how much $1 is by saying it's a little bit more attractive, just a
Can you
little
imagine
bit.
a fiver?
Man, I mean, like, what if I smacked him in the
Hundo.
face with a Benjamin? I mean,
Hold on,
what's
we
gonna
need-
happen then?
We need a unit of measurement here. Let's pick an attractive individual, and then
Nick
name
Cooper.
this unit of measurement for $1.
Nick Cooper's an attractive man.
So it's
I've
a micro
heard.
Cooper.
Thanks, Chris Puner.
You look homeless
Micro
today, by the way.
It's a micro Cooper per dollar.
He probably just woke up.
I woke up like 4 hours ago.
We'll have to
Jesus.
talk about that after this.
Let's say, I don't want to choose Leonardo DiCaprio because he's not really attractive anymore. Neither is Tom
All right,
Cruise.
rather than coming up with a name for the unit
How
of
about-
attractiveness,
No,
let's
well,
focus on the question.
His face keeps getting wider in every
Well,
movie
we
he's
can't
in.
Tom
accurately
Cruise
measure
or
this
Leonardo
unless we have,
DiCaprio?
ways to measure it.
Leo.
it's
We need to
because
understand the differences, white hair.
it's because his head is slowly deflating. Sorry, CinemaCast. So I would say I'd probably give him. I could probably give him like. I mean, I don't really need much help. I mean, come on. Maybe like $50. I think $50 is a good amount of money. That's you would walk into a room, people would notice you and want to talk to you. Like I feel like that would probably be and they'd be drawn to you. So you pretty much get like well known, not like high profile. I'm not like Beyonce, but like a little bit more attractive than
You
the
don't wanna
average
be Ryan
person.
Gosling?
No, I don't want to be Ryan Gosling. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. So the honest truth for this question is that there's only two answers. The first answer is 0. I don't want to give him any money because it's not worth money to be more attractive because you're like that sort of person, blah, blah, blah. Or all of the money that you have. Those are the only two answers. Because
think
any
Chris
amount
just
in
said-
between is
Chris
just like,
chose a number in
eh.
between.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
I have
Those
never
are the only
heard.
two viable answers. Because if you say
I can give him
like,
$1.
I want to
Yeah.
be more attractive, why would you only want to be slightly more attractive? Like, why
So-
wouldn't
You
you
gotta
just
eat.
spend
Right,
all
so
of your money?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's talk about this from like a natural perspective right now. We are all animals, and we find other people attractive based on certain facets of their physical appearance, based on a couple of things. Historically, how well we think to be able to bear children and nurture them, and then also two cultural things that are inflicted on us. So what people would consider sexy or whatever. So if we become so much more attractive to somebody such that they cannot control themselves because they're all instinctively still animals, and we overcome all of their willpower, that could be an issue.
That's not a thing. Come on.
Yeah, it totally is.
No,
It totally is.
We have frontal lobes now. Maybe if we're going back.
Right? No.
But
Yeah, no.
Alex, haven't you ever heard Kanye West? Everybody knows he's a motherfucking monster, Alex.
So like, okay, we have
It's dangerous.
We have the ability to suppress these instinctual feelings, but they are still there, and the urges are still there. If the urges are strong enough, they will still then overpower your ability to overpower them.
Chris, I'm just saying, watch yourself. You're making a really weird case for rapists and stuff.
Oh, I suppose that is the case.
He's not justifying it.
I'm just saying that's the argument. So in a case where like you said like $100, everybody would like want to talk to you and stuff and find you extremely attractive. They also didn't say sexually attractive in the thing. They just said attractive, which can be different.
But it did say
Actually,
that the person seemed
yeah.
just slightly sexier.
Oh, okay,
So-
maybe, huh?
See, but I don't know. Like, that sounds kind of lame. I want people to leave me alone most of the time. So, I wouldn't give this guy anything. I'm gonna say that right now. I wouldn't give this guy because I would rather buy a book and give him $10.
You know what? Because fuck Matt Hillman, I'd say why not? Like about $350.
Well,
Yeah.
seriously.
I'll give him like a couple bucks.
Yeah,
Like,
like $5.
Matt
give him, like,
Hillman,
$5,
and everybody
but-
that I've asked this question to and talked about this with, nobody has said all my money. There's been various levels and there's been zero, but nobody said I'm gonna give him everything because nobody, like, who is that like completely, like, I don't know, vain or like caught up on the physical side of things that they would value their appearance at like all of their net worth, like
I mean,
I don't
it's-
think.
Could you imagine
My
if
net
like
worth isn't very high. I can't imagine any of ours are, still
Oh.
being in school or freshly out of school.
dude,
Well, it
what if
doesn't matter how high it is. It's like it's still 100% of your
Okay.
funds.
what if
I guess
Notch
what I
drops
should
a
say-
billion on this guy?
What I should
To
say
me, it
is,
just would.
would you give him? Would
He
you give him
could.
a grand? Would you ever give this guy a grand?
No.
If I had it to
I'm gonna
waste,
treat him-
probably not.
I'm gonna treat him like a
Exactly.
homeless
I'd probably
person.
be willing
Right?
to, but that would
So-
still leave me with enough money to make sure that I'm not, on the street if I lose my job the next week. You know what I
Basically,
mean?
what I'm saying is, you're gonna give this guy any money that you don't really need. That's kind of what it is.
Yeah,
Because
you treat him like another
Yeah.
like you're giving money to like a homeless dude or a guy in need.
But I don't give a homeless person like all the money I don't need.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I give them like a buck or two. I don't know.
Well, we're saying though, like as the maximum side, you could probably like all of your, like disposable income, you could probably throw at this guy. But I think anybody would have a hard time justifying more than that.
How
At what
does
point?
this-
I mean, like at what point in time? Like, yeah, if everyone finds you attractive, but then you have no money to do anything, like,
I mean, that's
You-
fine. You can probably find somebody to buy things for you if you're attractive enough. Like, if you're a girl, somebody will buy you drinks in a bar. If you're a guy, I'm sure you could buddy somebody, and they would be like, hey, man, let me buy you a burger. I mean, like, there are certain ways to leverage your attractiveness to pretty much get whatever you want if you're that
I don't know.
attractive.
That's how
I'm
I
not-
got on the podcast.
but I'm not gonna give my entire
Yeah.
income to turn myself into a prostitute. Like, why would I?
But,
Why would I do that?
Out of money, if you give this guy some money,
If I want guaranteed returns on this, I need to drop it all,
Well,
and then I'd become
yeah,
a
but
prostitute.
again, that's not like you're now poor and homeless for the rest of your life because you can't make another cent.
so all right.
I'm
The
giving
way
him
I
pocket
see this
change.
question, like outside of all of this, it's a brilliant way of basically asking somebody, or figuring out about somebody how much they like think of themselves and stuff. It's kind of like a good like estimate of their self-esteem, and then it also kind of gives you a rough idea of their concept and value of money, right? Like depending, like some people might just like throw $100 at something like this, like it's like $1, like $10 to you, or maybe they'll be like, yeah, I could give them $10 because they don't have a ton of money. But I don't know, I feel like this question is kind of telling about people, and it's a pretty actually like intimate question if they're gonna ask it or answer it seriously. Like it's probably not a question you could really ask somebody you don't know and really have a real answer from them. I don't know.
I would
don't know.
answer.
I feel like I
Somebody
would
asked me
probably give the same answer I just gave. I'd probably ask specifics and probably work my way to an answer.
Well, we don't really care about social constructs that much, Chris.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Let's be real here.
You're not wrong. Can we Is there any other good questions on that list? I'm really sorry, but these are all really good, thought-provoking questions. And like, I wanted to talk about them last when I was listening to the show today. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna see if he'll do it again. Then let's do it again. Because you had some really interesting ones. I don't remember what they were.
Yeah, I chose my 3 favorites last week.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right, here's a decent one. Actually, I
Well,
don't
while
know.
you're thinking about it, I've been working with Excel a lot, and Excel is like the greatest program in history. And let me tell you why. Visual Basic Editor. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's awesome.
I do indeed.
It is making my life at work so much fun because I'm allowed to change the way that I do things just simply by writing code, and it makes me super happy, and now I want to be a programmer.
Aren't scripts fucking amazing?
They are. It's awesome. So I want to learn more programming languages now, and I don't know.
I can think of
Expand
at
my
least 2
database.
people in here that can help you with that right away.
So
Learn
can
Python. Learn Python.
I should
Python
learn
is
Python,
one of the
yes.
easier ones. I say Python is the easiest scripting language. Java is the easiest object-oriented language to pick up with the 0 knowledge.
Yeah, and I already know a lot of Java. I haven't worked with it very much since I first learned it, so it's kind of like in the back of my mind somewhere. But I do know a little bit of C++, and I know Visual Basic up and down. Like, damn, do so many things with it, and it's awesome.
I mean, the biggest thing is once you know the basics, it all comes down to syntax. Like, I can do 4 separate programming languages off of the top of my head, and I can pick one up within... I'd say competence within 2 weeks. I'd say I'd be able to do something, effectively within a month or 2. You know what I mean?
I can ride a bike with no handlebars.
It's a lot like learning languages. Once you've reached a certain point or number of them, it's just easier to pick up more, if that makes sense.
Right. Unless you decided you want to learn Chinese, in which case just fuck that, right?
But yeah, no, at that point it's just you're a sadistic bastard, because I tried that once. It was a bad idea.
Yeah, but can you imagine trying to learn English right now?
From Chinese or pretty much any language in Asia?
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare.
It's rough. At least they start it with the younger kids, because you know what I mean? The 12, 13-year-olds are a lot better at picking that stuff up than we.
Right, yeah, that was what the Spartans had in mind too.
All right,
They
the
started
question.
with, 5-year-olds.
What?
So I haven't been
All right.
listening because I've been reading
Go
through
ahead,
all these
Wiener.
questions. But yeah, I found another good one. Okay. A novel titled Interior Mirror is released to mammoth commercial success, despite middling reviews. However, a curious social trend emerges. Though no one can prove a direct scientific link, it appears that almost 30% of the people who read this book immediately become homosexual. Many of these newfound homosexuals credit the book for helping them reach this conclusion about their orientation, despite the fact that Interior Mirror is ostensibly a crime novel with no homoerotic content, and was written by a straight man. Would this phenomenon increase or decrease the likelihood of you reading this book?
This sounds like 2 things that I can think of. This sounds like the book that the never nude guy on Arrested Development writes about his life, and it turns out to have a huge gay fan base because it sounds like a homoerotic novel, but he doesn't realize it.
The man inside me.
Yeah, the man inside me. Yeah.
Yep, I remember that.
And it also sounds like what happened with middle-aged women in 50 Shades of Grey and BDSM, except a little bit.
Did that actually
More
inspire
about
all that
BDSM.
stuff? I don't understand.
I mean, I'm sure
I thought the 50 Shades of Grey was based off of a Twilight fanfic.
it's about BDSM though. Yeah, it is a Twilight fanfic, but
Yeah.
it is about BDSM though.
So was it a Twilight fanfic, and then they changed all the names so that it was all
Yep.
consistent? Okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't know how. I was talking to somebody. I'm like, I don't know how this thing got pushed like this. I have no clue, but because it's written like shit. But
Right.
yeah, I'd read that book.
Okay.
So to
fucking
answer
care.
the question,
So, all right, just a few facts I'm going to throw out before we
All
start
right.
talking about this,
All
because
right.
we had a long discussion last time I went through this with Kevin and a few other guys on TeamSpeak, and we decided based on the wording of the question, it seems that almost 30% of the people who read the book and become homosexual, it's not that they weren't before, it's just they didn't realize it, right?
Yeah, I thought that was
so
the thing.
okay, well, just the wording of the question isn't super clear that that's the case, but it seems like, yeah, it's not that you just were heterosexual and then read this and it just flipped.
Oh my god, I'm
like,
gay.
yeah, It's just, you read this and start realizing like, oh, okay. And then the other one was yeah, that it's, a crime novel. That's the big one to keep in mind.
Okay. I think. Actually, I don't want to go first.
Okay.
I would read this. I don't care. I'm curious.
Okay. So like
Bye, curious.
by
We'll find out after I read the book.
Baby.
What were you gonna say, Alex?
I was gonna say I would not read the book.
Really?
And Whitehair
Well,
likes
it's the
being
book, Alex.
Whitehair likes being unsure and insecure about himself.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. No, so like I don't know. What if I
It's the book.
what if I do realize, that
Then
I'm
what? Then you
actually
found out
homosexual?
a fundamental truth about yourself. Oh no!
Well,
then
okay, hold
then
on.
we can
though, hold
finally
on.
go on a date, Alex.
Let
I'm
me
waiting.
Come on.
Let me finish making my point. Like, who would in today's like climate? It's getting better, but there's no reason to like want to be gay. Like,
What?
it. Like you basically
It
just
doesn't
get to
make
be.
your life easier.
Yeah, it's not something like objectively.
Yeah, but you
there's-
are gay already.
I guess yeah, that's the thing. Like I would be learning that about myself, but for now I don't believe it, and I'm happy not believing it. Like I don't know.
Then you're
like,
not gay. What?
Then
I don't understand.
But the book, you never know.
Then why would you have
What the fuck?
But then why would you have a fear if you're so sure about you being straight? You wouldn't have to worry about it if you read the book.
numbers. The
You-
numbers,
What if
Chris.
What if I'm not
The numbers,
100%
Mason.
convinced? You know. Okay.
I think you need a
All right, so
therapist, not a book club.
I'm gonna go ahead and say no, but for a different reason. Because if we go ahead and look at my family, I think we're currently 2 for 4. So I say my odds are not good.
Yo, we're all laughing on Skype, and none of us pressed our push to
God.
talk, so that people in podcast land could see. But yeah,
I didn't
You're
wanna
making
push my
it-
push to talk because there'd be too much echo. Because Nick and I were laughing our
You're
fucking
making
asses off.
you're making it though, Henderson, sound as if it's a negative thing to realize that
It's a
you're gay.
numbers game.
It's not. It's no. It's no. You made it sound bad. You're like my odds aren't good or whatever. Like it's not a positive or negative sort of thing.
Just how things are.
It's I don't know. It's a value. It's a true false value. You fucking computer guy. Is it a 1 or is it a 0? Is it open or is it closed? Is it true or is it false? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter which it is if you can't figure it out on your own, though.
Okay, that's fair. That's a good argument.
I
That's
just
a
wanna
really
say-
good argument. That's a
wait,
good
no,
argument.
but no, figure it out on your own. That doesn't mean anything because then I'll lock you in a room and never let you see anyone else ever, and then you
Okay,
tell me
throw
that you're
that
attracted to
into the
other men.
And then you're-
like,
Isn't that what they do at gay camps?
Dead or alive. How
It's the
do you
first-
know?
it's the first thing you say coming out of the
You
room.
don't want to look in the room, Rick.
Man, I really love penis.
Can I
Man,
come out yet?
being alone in that room for the first 25 years of my life, I really realized that maybe it's because it's all I've had, but I really just love
Alright,
man
alright.
penis.
Is it a good book?
A crime book. It sounds great.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
but
It
didn't
got
you say it was a
middling reviews,
mediocre-
it said, but
Yeah.
it was
Sometimes they're
released,
wrong.
though, to mammoth commercial success, so it's popular.
Yeah, but
people aren't loving
when's
it.
the
But isn't it
last
because
time-
It's like a
Wait.
maybe you'll turn gay.
So wait.
Like,
so wait.
isn't that the reason it's popular?
Everyone on Earth read this book, and then about a third of them were like, "Oh, I'm gay," because that sounds like normal. Just everyone, like, I don't know. I'm confused
Aren't
now.
Sounds like
mammoths
brainwashing.
extinct though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex, how
So
you gonna
how
explain that?
how can they have
I'll-
any sort of commercial success nowadays? And how are they writing crime novels?
We
I'll
found
write a
we
letter
found
to
their
Chuck.
on Mars.
Oh,
in the ice.
Just read like a cave painting and just come on the cave like, guys, I think I'm gay.
Oh boy.
What the fuck was painted on those walls? I don't know, it looked like a mammoth did it with a piece of chalk, but god damn it.
All right, I have another funny one. If we're ready to
Okay.
move
Oh
on.
please.
Do it!
Please.
No,
Oh,
wait.
did we ever finish that? Oh, by the way, I would read the book. I would read
Oh,
the
nice.
book. That's my
Well,
answer.
Chris and I will read it to each other.
Rick and I can have a book club, just the two of
Did anybody else want to
do
answer
we
that
even
one?
have any context to my answer for this show?
Hmm?
What?
Do we even
Nope.
have any context to my answer to that question for this show?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, so my mother and one of my sisters are both very well. flaming lesbians, I think is the right term.
Is it?
I don't know if that's the right term at all.
know.
They're just lesbians. I don't know.
I mean, it's to the point where
Well, they're
it's
certainly not
it's
on
pretty
fire.
obvious if you spend longer than 30 seconds looking at them.
Well, his sister
Well, I
is
mean-
a redhead.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I get it now.
Anyway, did
Anyway.
anybody else want to answer that before we?
Matt
move on
Hillman,
to
would you
another-
read it or not?
Me? I don't know. See, I didn't answer during this question, and there's a good reason for that because I just don't know. Like, I'm not a huge
Just
fan
read
of
the
crime
fucking book.
novels.
Oh, boy.
Sherlock Holmes just ain't doing it for you. Huh?
Honestly, like I don't. I'm more of a fantasy, like conspiracy, espionage kind of guy.
BDSM.
Not a mystery.
Crime is just BDSM. The crime is just not up
50
there.
Shades
I
of
don't know.
Matt Hillman.
Dude,
Episode
I have
title.
a cookbook for you,
Hashtag.
Hillman. It's called 50 Shades of Chicken.
Oh man, wait, what did you
Cool,
say for
sounds
the
great.
episode title? I need to make a mental note of that.
50 Shades of Chicken.
50 Shades of Matt Hillman. Now it's gonna be pasted all over the middle
Oh.
of this part, so now you can't use it.
No, we just
Yeah,
gotta
no,
like double up
I'm
on
not
the
gonna use
SEO stuff for this episode on the website.
Oh yeah, I'll put it all there. Matt Hillman, like over and over again. I'll even handle misspellings if they forget one of the L's
Do
or
it.
the N's.
Do it. Or Math
But
Hillman.
honestly, though, would I read this book? It's like seriously is my answer. It's like I don't know. I don't really like crime novels. If it was a different like genre of book and it was something that I might be interested in, then maybe.
But that you're aware of. Wow, Henderson, put away that book. 50 Shades of Chicken, the
Yeah,
cookbook.
put away your chicken.
But so the phenomena would not make you or not make you want to read the book, but the fact of it being a crime novel is the main reason why you would or would not read it.
Actually, yes. I find the
Okay.
whole 30% of people coming out after they read it irrelevant.
Yeah, it could just be a correlated fact.
All right. Can I
Yeah,
ask the
and
final
not a
question
cause.
that none of us have thought about?
All right.
What's up?
Does it have pictures?
I'm gonna assume it doesn't. Even if it did,
It's just
Yeah,
plastered with
I
like
can't read it then.
pictures of crime scenes that have like subtle hints of dick all over them.
no, it said there's
Or
no
vagina.
homoerotic content.
Huh.
Be it like
There's no-
you
He
know-
said
Late-
subtle.
Homoerotic content.
No, it just said no homoerotic content.
All right, so
Well, I mean, if you're studying queer theory, then there's always latent homoerotic content somewhere in there.
my
Oh.
new goal in life is to write this novel.
What are you gonna
Yeah.
call it?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm after. I don't know how to write it, but I have to figure out a way to make a crime novel have subtle hints of things that are super, super under the radar. Rick, you want to help me?
Yeah, sure, I can help you.
Let's do it.
I
Let's-
study stuff.
Shades
I do
of
this shit every
crime.
day.
All right. You hide homoerotic imagery and subcontext in your
No,
writing?
I find it.
Oh,
Oh.
it's everywhere. Have you ever watched Top Gun? It's just lathered in that shit.
Have you ever watched Jaws?
Yeah.
That whole thing's a homoerotic
More
allegory, man.
Over
No, but you could read it that way.
Jaws.
Good, yeah.
Jaws.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna need a bigger boat.
I've got a video for you to watch, Chris.
All right,
No boy.
chew on this, motherfucker.
All right, you guys want to do one more?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, please.
Okay. Someone builds an optical portal that allows you to see a vision of your own life in the future. It's essentially a crystal ball that shows a randomly selected image of what your life will be like in 20 years. You can only see into this portal for 30 seconds. When you finally peer into the crystal, you see yourself in a living room, 2 decades older than you are today. You're watching a Canadian football game and you are extremely happy. You're wearing a CFL jersey. Your chair is surrounded by books and magazines that promote the Canadian Football League, and there are CFL pennants covering your walls. You are alone in the room, but you are gleefully muttering about historical moments of Canadian football history. It becomes clear, for some unknown reason, that you have become obsessed with Canadian football, and this future is static and absolute. No matter what you do, this future will happen. The optical portal is never wrong. This destiny cannot be changed. The next day, you're flipping through television channels and randomly come across a preseason CFL game between the Toronto Argonauts and the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Knowing your inevitable future, do you watch it?
Have you ever watched CFL?
No.
It's
I
pretty
haven't.
great.
Rick, this is the future.
It's already halfway there.
I've seen a game or two.
No, here's what
They
I
don't have fourth down, I don't think.
I take a walk to think about my life. I go to the nearest river and I jump off the bridge because fuck Canada.
Wow.
Wow.
And then you end up
Wow.
Very
getting
strong
severe. You
feelings.
hit your head on the bottom, and then all you can think about is Canadian football.
It's Canadian football. I've never
Damn it.
seen. I've
Can't
never
change
seen
this
a
no more.
game of
Yeah, that's fine.
Canadian
Most
football, but
confusing about that is when the hell did I get into sports?
yeah, or
That's
or,
the thing.
or more importantly, when the hell during the year do they play football?
Yeah.
The
During the
same
warm
time
season.
as us, Chris.
I suppose I
There's
would
a
be.
warm season in Canada?
I suppose I would be probably curious enough to sit down and watch that first one, but with this, like, normally, I'd be like, what the fuck is this? This isn't like the NFL. Why is everything in, like, 360p? I don't understand. Why is there two people there? And, like, those leather pads? Is this 1980? And then, I would but in having the previous knowledge of then going forward and knowing that I would become obsessed with this and it would ruin my life, probably not. Although the
How do
question,
you know it ruined your life?
Yeah, it's just a Friday night. You're just chilling and watching
Yeah,
CFL.
you seem really
it-
happy. It
it-
said.
Yeah, you're really happy. You're
it
genuinely
begs
happy.
it begs the question, right? If I avoid it for the rest of my life, everything possible I put away, but I still end up like that, will it be more or less painful for people around me, or understandable for people around me, to see that happen if, like, I slowly and, like, very deliberately make myself interested in it? Like, will it make more sense to, like, my parents if I had been watching it for years, or, like, all of a sudden 20 years down the road they come over for dinner and there's all this shit all over the wall and I've never ever talked about Canadian football before?
They just make fun of you for being
It's
a
part of your
bandwagon
mental
fan.
breakdown.
Yeah.
But hold on. What if, because it never says your living room, it says a living room. What if you're at a friend's place and, like, what if you're just wearing this jersey and stuff, and, like, maybe this is like your best friend, maybe it's even your significant other or something, and they're really into it.
that would be
and
that's a
you're kinda
game
just
breaker for
like,
me, so probably not.
Okay, well, maybe it's not your significant other, but, like, what if it's a
Jesus.
friend?
Do you
what
like
if it's
CFL?
somebody else, and, like, you know, you're just kind of putting on an act for them,
Swipe left.
and, like, what if you're just happy to be, like, spending some time with them? So, like,
But you're
yeah,
alone
you
in the
know.
room.
Well, they stepped out to grab a drink or something. I don't know.
Probably.
Like, they went to the other room.
Probably to grab a beer if we're in Canada.
Nick went to Taco Bell to pick up the food.
All
Like,
right.
yeah. You know.
No, he really
don't
did.
know.
He's gone.
5 years post crime novel, Nick and I are married happily and watching CFL together.
You know, I'm glad you chose me as your gay significant other.
Well,
I
he
mean, I
already
couldn't
said
read the
he
book.
said you got Taco Bell. Normally, if we're just talking about like just like basic
You mean
people,
Taco Bell.
I would fuck you. I would choose Rick, Taco Bell or not. But Taco Bell included, I mean, I think Nick Cooper wins. Technically, if you have Taco Bell, everybody gets it. It's fine.
Chris, we're getting double downs, Chris.
Oh my god.
Did you see them coming out with something else? It's like a hot dog.
No.
It's a hot dog.
What?
It's a hot dog wrapped in fried chicken, I think.
What?
What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Whoa!
I'm pretty sure.
Whoa!
Did you
Alright,
find it?
I
Yes.
would. I just watched the TV. I don't know.
Yeah, but
We
you
don't
like
have
but you
cable.
like sports already. You already like the NFL.
Yeah,
So
but future me also likes Canadian football. So, what? Why not?
what if it was also like Halloween and I was like just dressed up as a Canadian football like league fan, and I was also hosting an open house, and so I had people in and around my house, and I was just playing the part.
That's not what the scenario is about, Chris. You love Canadian football.
Oh,
No, I mean, you can hope, but you'll never know until you get there if you're gonna genuinely love Canadian football, if you're just playing the part. So,
Turns
the
out
question.
You enjoy dressing up so much that you just decided to watch it forever.
so wait, who is letting me look into this crystal ball again? Who is it? Like a gypsy or like a witch or like a magician or?
It doesn't say. It just says someone builds an
The
optical
wizard
portal.
from earlier.
I probably
Yeah, it's
killed
probably-
that person.
I have a report from
Wow.
the field.
I would just do
Well,
whatever I want because 20 years down the road, I'm gonna be sitting in the living room happily watching CFL. So it doesn't really matter what I do, right?
What if prison sentences have become a little bit more like lenient, and there's just like
An
part of
inventive.
your
What if you
punishment
got
is being
deported to
forced to watch
Canada?
CFL?
What if that's
for-
actually a
fine.
picture of me in like the third circle of hell, and
Yeah.
I died?
The third
Canada.
circle. That's a pretty okay
The
third
third
circle.
circle.
You're gonna watch Canadian football. Oh, that's not so bad, and you're gonna be happy about it.
It's just
Shit,
tomorrow.
no.
So I'm in the field right now doing research,
Okay.
and I found out that this double down dog has cheese in it.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
a cheese
No.
double down
Yes,
dog.
it
I
That's
like
a
the-
deal breaker for
The
me.
first comment on that page is, "Y'all need to be arrested."
I think we need to go back and bring back that first podcast we did a long, long time ago. We did that one episode where we got double downs and you guys came over and we sat in front of my old webcam and recorded a podcast. We should do
Yeah.
that again. And we
Please.
should come out with episode 5 of Slapdash after post hot dogs. Post hot dogs.
I would totally be into this. I would
Could you
love
imagine-
to drive down after a work
I
day
wanna
to
know-
do this with
I
you
want to
guys.
know if there's like 1 or 2 straggling subscribers to that podcast that's like 6, almost 7 years old now. I'm like,
Hey,
oh
you
man,
guys
they posted a new episode. Like, hey guys, sorry, I've been away for a little bit.
You guys been waiting. We're back.
Can we actually do a video podcast and actually eat the things on stream? Because
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I was
notoriously
thinking.
like unskilled at eating, so it will be a little bit of comedy just there watching me try to eat.
Watching
this thing.
you eat is the cutest thing. We had noodles one time. We were talking about like website stuff. It's just adorable. Just the cutest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm
I'm
not-
very self-conscious.
No,
about that.
you would do fine. You do fine. Did I ask you to use chopsticks? Did you use chopsticks when we ate, or did you use your fork? I don't recall.
I think I used a fork, but I'm actually
Right.
pretty adept with chopsticks.
You're adept with chopsticks, but you're notoriously bad at eating. I don't think those two things
Well,
are.
like, all right, so like things like burgers, sandwiches that you have to pick up and have them not fall apart in your
Finger
hand while you're
food.
eating.
Oh,
Yeah, they
yeah.
always fall apart on you.
You gotta
Doritos
spread
from
out your
Chipotle.
tendrils so you get more surface area on the bun. You gotta catch all the poppy seeds in your palm and lick them off when you're done. That's what
You gotta
do.
with the Chipotle burritos. You gotta start eating it, and then like you gotta tap the other side of it to get it like to settle down.
It's just like
So
a
it stands
like a
up, so
pack
you don't
of
have to lay it
cigarettes. You just like smack it on the counter.
All right, so
What was Oh shoot!
I've
I
got
was
more
gonna
fun
say
stuff for
something.
us to
I was
do.
gonna say something.
I-
Oh, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
let's-
I came
I want
with
more
my
fun stuff.
activity book full of stuff. Okay, so
Oh,
last
boy.
week I talked about the Mad Libs I got for Christmas because my family was making fun of me for being on Tinder. And somebody in TeamSpeak brought it up and was like, "Do you still have those?" So we did a few Mad Libs in TeamSpeak, and absolute hilarity ensued. So I think we should go ahead and do a Mad Lib. I think it'll be pretty fun. Is everybody down?
Sure.
I'll do,
Yeah,
I'll
let's
do a
do
fucking
it.
Mad Lib.
All right. So we have a few options. We can do fantasy first dates, dating disasters,
Can we do Canadian
Ooh.
football?
or first date
It's happening.
deal breakers for men.
3. I'm picking first
Oh,
date deal
I'm-
breakers for men.
I like that one too. For 500,
that one.
please. What is fan of Canadian Football League?
All right. So here's how this is gonna work. We're gonna vote on these. Like, we can all suggest stuff, but we all need to like come to a majority like vote on what's gonna go in each of these lines. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. First up, noun, and I'm not gonna be reading. So,
Canadian
like,
football player.
Canadian football league.
CFL.
CFL, yeah.
Another noun.
Canadian
These-
football.
These are things
No.
that are deal
Buffalo.
breakers for us.
No,
Yeah, Buffalo.
that's just
Buffalo.
the name. You know, like you don't.
Okay.
We have no idea what context they're gonna be used.
But
in.
okay, Buffalo.
Buffalo.
They're all gonna be Buffalo from now on.
No, the next one's wrestling.
Another noun.
Wrestling.
Okay.
Wrestler John Cena.
John Cena. I like John
John
Cena.
No,
Cena.
no.
John Cena.
So, I
Oh.
know a noun can be a person, place, or thing, but for Mad Libs, it works best if you only do like people when it asks for a person.
All right, rest. We'll do John Cena if a person comes up.
All right.
Let's do wrestling.
Wrestling.
For now. Is that fair?
Wait, is that a noun? Wrestling?
Yes, it's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh.
All right, adjective.
It's a thing. Portly.
Crepuscular.
Wait, what was it? What were we looking for?
An
Adjective.
An adjective.
Okay.
We've heard
Crepuscular.
portly,
Plump.
noted.
What are you saying?
Voluptuous.
Yeah, what? I don't know what Henderson's saying.
Voluptuous.
I could deal with that.
Some sort of crepuscular or something.
Crepuscular.
What does that mean?
He found a
Of
thesaurus.
resembling or relating to Twilight.
Yeah, you found a thesaurus.
All right. Yeah. Why don't you use that one?
No, it's from Archer.
All right. I liked portly.
Portly.
Okay.
Okay.
Pregnant was said in chat.
Wow.
I like that
That's
one.
a good one.
Should we
Next.
throw one out to chat?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is
I-
a noun.
Okay, I know. Okay, I know that wrestling isn't like it. It's used interchangeably as a noun, even though it technically isn't.
No, it's a noun.
It's
you
a
wouldn't-
sport, like baseball's
yeah,
a noun as
Baseball
well
is
as
a noun. Football is a noun.
So
That's
you
true.
should
Go and
put
watch a wrestling
WWE.
match.
Kind of like how, yeah. You
What
watch
for like
a,
New Japan World Wrestling? There.
you watch a
What do you
baseball
Wait,
game.
then the match would be the noun, right?
yeah,
Not
no, but
wrestling.
you'd say going to watch wrestling.
Yeah, you could say that too. The same way you could say I'm gonna go watch a baseball game.
But
It's
anyway,
an adjective and a noun. It's a very descriptive
right,
adjective.
whatever.
He's
What's the next?
studying English.
chat, we need a noun. Come on,
Right,
guys,
chat.
I believe in you. All right, while we're waiting for chat for the noun, guys, we need a plural noun from us.
John Cena's.
A plural noun.
Yeah.
A
Plural
plural noun.
Handlebars.
Puppies.
How about
Plebeians.
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 Do it.
Yes.
Do it. Oh man, I heard they were gonna revolt tonight.
All right, ing verb.
Wrestling.
Okay.
Damn it.
Okay.
Buffaloing.
Buffaloing.
Did you get to that part when you listened to last week's episode?
Yes. I died. Just listening to all of you. There was a point in time when all 5 of you guys were talking and you guys were all just saying Buffalo, Buffalo, Buffalo.
I like the part later in the episode where I go to say something and I say buffalo instead.
You did.
I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
All right, so ing verb. What did we decide on?
Oh,
Jamming.
jamming?
Jam?
Yeah, because I still have Space Jam full movie from Video Game Donkey pulled up.
How
on my
about
screen.
lubing?
Lubing?
Wow.
Yeah, do it.
Jamming
Not
or
where I was
lubing?
going.
Which
Are we
jamming.
jamming or are we lubing? Which one are we doing and in what order?
Oh, feel like jamming too. Jamming, you know what I mean? Not
Is this
like
related to the
wow.
crime novel from before?
Lubing or jamming? We gotta choose. I want a game plan before I go in.
Fine, let's do jamming. We can jam it in there.
A jamming? Final answer?
Final answer.
I heard Uranus or your mom for the noun from chat, by the way.
I like Uranus.
Me
Oh,
too.
okay.
Can you spell it the correct way, please?
Like the planet?
No.
Oh. Too late. Color.
Color?
Yeah, I need a
Orange.
color.
Pink.
Flesh.
Puce.
I was just looking at
Puce.
colors today.
Puce is such an
Puce.
ugly fucking word.
It is.
It's just P-U-C-E,
No,
right?
okay, right. There's a
Yeah.
crayon color, but that's flesh.
Aquamarine.
Gotta do flesh.
There's not a flesh-colored crayon.
Yes, there is.
That
I
sounds
have
racist. That sounds like the fastest way to be a racist.
Hang on.
Yeah,
Let me
use a flesh color.
You just hold the crayon up, you're like,
let me
this
look
is
at
my
it.
fucking skin?
Puce is
that's why it's racist,
P-U-C-E. It's also a gross as fuck word.
I
hate
like
that word.
Puce. I
I
like
hate
Puce.
that word.
Alright, Puce.
Alright, here, you fucking assholes.
All right, we need another noun.
I linked it
Toe.
in chat. There you go.
God.
Flesh colored crayon.
It's like a mulatto kind of color.
50 Shades of Flesh.
Lovely.
Gross.
How about
All right, noun, guys. We're almost done.
flip phone?
Okay, flip phone. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. sure, why
Verizon
not?
Yeah.
Razor.
Yeah, Verizon Razor. I like that
Nokia.
one. That's the same
Nokia
thing.
one.
Bit more branded on your side.
Sponsor.
All right, adjective.
John
In-
Cena.
Promiscuous.
Indiscriminate.
All right, I just glanced ahead. One of them is celebrity male. So John.
Yes,
Cena.
John Cena.
Oh yeah, there you go. He's not a celebrity, he's a hero. That's a little bit different.
All right, adjective though.
Drunk.
Drunken.
Drunk,
Sure.
drunk is good.
Okay.
Blasted.
Uh, Will Smith-esque.
That's a
Blasted or Will Smith-esque?
Will Smith has.
We can go with that.
In a manner pertaining to or associated with Will Smith.
Put that like put like an asterisk and then have like a footnote.
Alright.
Just in case you don't know what this word means. It's a real
I
word,
need-
I swear.
I need 2 different places.
Here and there.
Nick's bedroom.
Grumpton.
Oh, ooh, I like that one. Here and there. That's a good one.
How about Nick's bedroom?
How about Grompton and Gromptown?
Yeah.
Or
Are they like
Grumptopia.
associated? In
how
the
about wait, no,
Mad
no.
Lib,
Let's
or-
do Reddit and 4chan.
Reddit. I like that
Okay.
a lot, actually.
Okay.
All right, now I need a noun. Last one. So make it good.
Honeybee.
All right. All right. Oh, Rick,
Like-
you know what I stumbled across the other day that you probably
that?
haven't seen in a long time, but you used to love?
What?
Irving the socially awkward bee.
I still draw that bee all the time.
Do you really?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I
I
like
watched
it.
the video the other day. It was so good.
Hi guys.
Hi, guys.
Hi guys.
Can we just do like farts for the last one?
Yeah, we got
No,
your
we're getting
fart
lewd
joke
up
in
in
there,
here.
right?
Luda.
Well, I have honeybee written down, but we can change it. What do you guys want to make it?
How about
How about
how
fart?
about
Cosplayer.
honeybee. Let's go with honeybee.
Honeybee.
All right, here we go.
So excited.
Even if she's the prettiest, coolest Canadian football league you've ever been out with, there will be no second date if she does any of these off the buffalo things. Shows up in a wrestling encrusted tiara, calls
Ooh.
you Prince Portly, and says she deserves to be treated like a royal Uranus. Says she
Okay.
likes it when good-looking plebeians chase after her, and then proceeds to take off jamming and yells for you to catch her.
Oh, Luby would have been so much better.
Yeah, Lubing would
Oh,
have been way
man.
better there. Starts off talking about whether her wedding dress should be white or off puce, and assures you that she likes Verizon razor rings just as much as diamond ones. That one works really well. Admits that although she would prefer a Will Smith-esque vacation home in Reddit, she could live with one in 4chan.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
God.
And confesses that she thought you would look like John Cena, but that close up, you actually resemble a pug-faced honeybee.
Wow.
A pug-faced honeybee. You just
that
like
one
you
was
just like
okay.
they like fly, you know, like when like bees fly like really close to you, and all you just hear the buzzing. He just like flies really close here.
Don't worry, I'm doing some on the ground research right now to give us a little bit of an image for this one.
Okay, a pug-faced honeybee.
Working on
We're
it.
counting on you, Rick.
Whitehair, I'm gonna
hybrid animals.
have to start making this show worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is a lot more fun than Leakcast, so we don't get to do Mad Libs on Leakcast.
Alright, in the
could.
chat is now the pug-faced honeybee.
Okay.
You know what? We should do that on Leakcast. We're only able to use league-related verbs and nouns
Oh
and
boy.
adjectives.
All right. Well.
Oh
it
my
is,
god.
we're starting to approach that point in the show where things wind down and we start looking at questions. And,
Fireside
you know,
chat and email session with Mr. Whitehair.
5 more minutes.
let me just scoot in, let my voice get a little bit low and sultry. No. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. First up, we have a question from Blake Dennis. Oh, I said his last name. Whoops.
Way to go, dummy. Oh, we'll get that in post.
Cut that out. Cut the video.
Cut the
cut
feed. We'll throw in a Mundo there or something. Anyway, we got a question from Blake, and he wants to know, of those of you that play Poe, which is Path of Exile, what are your favorite items from the special shop? He's talking about the microtransaction one. He says his favorite is the royal blue frog. It's just a little blue frog that has a crown on his head. He says it's extremely adorable and manly. To answer this one, for me at least, embarrassingly, I have not bought a single thing from their microtransaction store, despite me having now, I'm pushing 600 hours on the game. I know, it's bad. I really need to support them some way, and I really want to. I'm thinking probably the next time I'm in a position financially where I can, I'm gonna buy one of the supporter packs. But for now, I unfortunately cannot afford that, so I don't have any. But of the ones that I've seen, I really like the there's some really cool armor sets that you can get, and they did for a while supporter packs where depending on the level that you purchased, you got a big like banner on your character's back that was like part of the chest plate, and that was really cool to run around with like a big battle standard on your back. But I don't know if anybody else is really qualified to answer this question.
Wow, fuck off.
Well,
Wow.
are you familiar with the microtransaction store?
No. Well, no, you sent me a Snapchat the other day of one I probably would want. It was one of the, I think, facets of a supporter pack where your spectral minion drops his items on death instead of just losing them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that wasn't a microtransaction thing, but that is something that's very cool.
Okay.
Um,
I have
also-
Frog sounds kind of cute.
I feel like
I'd
I have-
probably get the frog.
I might have to put some context in for that, White Air, do you think?
Oh yeah.
So-
please.
So it's what's the spell called? Summon Guardian.
Animate Guardian.
Yeah, Superior Animate Guardian. That's the gem that I got because we got one for somebody else, and the second one dropped, and so I picked it up. And I'm actually just a witch that's using like pure lightning spells. And White Air keeps yelling at me because I have like no health, and it's hilarious. But
Isn't it so much fun to use that spell?
Summon Animate
Animate-
Guardian.
Yes.
Yes. So
No way.
we've named him Harold. And basically what I try to do is what you do is you like items drop in the game. So if you've ever played like a dungeon crawler before, it's kind of like that. It's like chess pieces will fall on the ground, a pair of shoes, a sword, whatever, what have you, right? And what you do is you cast this spell and these items are on the ground. Like in that game you don't pick everything up to sell it because like space is very limited in that game. So basically you things would fall and I would like click on them to summon it, and then you can add more pieces as you find them along the way. Granted, he doesn't die before then. So what I would do is I would animate like really dumb things together in a thing, in like some sort of combination. Just like a pair of shoes and like a wolf hide helmet, one chest piece. So he's just like slapping people with his sleeves, and just like the funniest thing. He just like runs around. It was just probably the coolest thing in that game, in my opinion.
I was dying when Chris did. It was like these like thigh high boots and then a vest, and that was it. It was so like there's like it's just a floating vest with a pair of thigh high boots like flailing beneath it, and as it ran around, it looked like an ostrich almost. Because,
Yeah.
like, the legs are just like swinging out, and then there's just
So
like this
funny.
ball like
It's
where
so
his torso
funny.
would be.
Just Rip Harold, Rip Harold, Rip Harold.
Yeah, he just kept dying.
Yeah.
And then that's why when I found that there's a way you can modify chest pieces and make it so that if you incorporate them into an animate guardian, the item will drop when it's done. So like I guess the idea is you build like a super chest piece to be the core of your guardian and just reuse that over and over again because it'll never get destroyed when the guy dies. So yeah, I snapped that to Chris because I thought he might like that.
I did.
Up next, we have a question from Christian, mostly for Rick, but I think any of us might be able to answer this depending on who's looked at it. He wants to know, he's trying to get into reading more books and stuff, and he said he had started trying to read Inferno by Dante Alighieri,
Ooh, yeah.
but he couldn't understand it for the life of him. So he's wondering what are some stepping stone books he could read to get into this.
Play the video game.
No, don't
No.
play the video game. So it's really okay. So it's tough to like get into that kind of. I don't really know that time period very well. But if you want,
1400s.
I mean, I don't think that's necessarily relevant. I mean, maybe it is if he knew what you were gonna like talk about time period wise, but basically,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you need to know is what he already knows. That it's like really super thick, high imagery, like referential.
yeah, it's really
Poetry.
I think, if you give me like 1 second, I think that there is a.
I would start off with Shel Silverstein and work my way up to Dante.
Oh,
But that's just me.
There, if you go out and look around, especially Cambridge does a lot of really good companion guides to literature. So I think there is a Dante's companion guide that came out like this year that might help you. Apart from that, I mean, like you can always try to find a book that gives you like that uses footnotes to tell you where references are coming from and stuff, a translation that does that. apart from that, just kind of like go at it. I mean, like the first time you read anything is like that is you're not going to get all of it, but you can start getting a good idea of what's going on. Like another thing, I read something. I read Paradise Lost by John Milton, and I took a class that spent about half the class, half a semester on that alone. And reading it by myself, I didn't get nearly as much as I did out of it in the class setting. So you could try to find a class that would teach it, but I doubt that they would have one, like a casual one that you could do. I guess just like rereading would be helpful, and try to find some kind of companion guide that'll help you get through some of the referential stuff and what's the kind of cool stuff that's going on in that.
Yeah, the version I actually tried to start reading this about a month or two ago, and one thing that I didn't end up finishing it. It was just too dense for me. I wasn't enjoying it, so I opted to go read Of Mice and Men instead.
That's significantly easier.
Way easier. But one thing that did make it more interesting going into it was the version of the book that I had a considerable like forward in it, that kind of gave you a lot of history of the book and its translations and stuff, and it told a lot about Dante Alighieri's life and stuff, and like where he was coming from when he wrote this and how he got to that point and stuff. And so like knowing all of that was kind of interesting going into it, because I believe like he's one of the few people that like wrote something of that nature where he set himself as the protagonist and not like was just writing a pure fiction. So doing something like that, you could definitely do some reading kind of about him and about like that time period and stuff to kind of, you know, get an idea of what's going on that like influenced this as well.
If you want, I don't know what version you have, but if you want, I have a friend who is a like a grad student medievalist, and I could ask her for some more info. So.
Wait. She's grad student studying what?
Medieval literature, medievalist.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you know her. You remember
So do
Kelly
I.
Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's here.
Oh, for
studying-
real? Really? Really? That's awesome. Hey, so Rick,
Can you like bleep her name out when we?
Rick,
Yeah.
I meant to tell you this, but I did stop at our local half-price books. Which, by the way, when you get back here, well, if you get back here, if you're in the area, you and I should go just spend like $20 and 15 hours in there.
That sounds amazing.
So I bought this book because they have an entire shelf of Freemasons and Templar stuff.
No shit.
Yes. So
What'd
I
you
picked
buy?
up this the Templars. It's the dramatic history of the Knights Templar, the most powerful military order of the Crusades. And basically what it is kind of like an overall historical account of like where they came from and stuff like that, and like what they're about and what they actually are, based on like historical references.
That's cool.
And like I was halfway into it, and they were like, they were giving me some basic, like ancient Roman history and stuff. Things I knew because I took ancient Rome in college. And a couple of other things like that. And like right now they're talking about like Jesus's life and stuff like that and where that would have happened. But then they went into like this really cool aside for like 2 or 3 pages about which of the biblical books can be taken with historical.
Like value.
Yeah, like, and they were like, Luke isn't. Like, they were like giving all these reasons as to, like, which ones were, which ones weren't, and like which ones even biblical scholars would consider like actual historical fact or close enough or like whatever. It was like things I have never read before, and I think, oh, man, like, can
That's
you?
Interesting.
Yeah, biblical scholars are super interesting.
Yeah, that's a weird field that I don't think I could ever.
Well,
do.
it's very strange. It's like wrought with like bias, but then again, there are some people that are actually just doing legitimate work. It's really cool. Anyway, so I meant to talk about this earlier at a more appropriate time, but then I just kind of hopped on this one because it didn't seem like there would be a more appropriate time.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But history.
If you want,
history's cool.
Yeah, it is. Whoever emailed that question in, if you want to know like some more information like that, if you send me an email at rick@leakcastpodcast.com, I can find out some stuff for you that might help you.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and forward you that email.
All right, yeah, please, thank
if
you.
you want to correspond with him directly.
We have one thing in chat that somebody wanted us to ask.
Oh, okay. Let me see how far I have to scroll up to find that.
You
or if
don't.
You have it.
You don't actually have to scroll up to find it. But from J Master in the Twitch chat, he wanted us to discuss the question of, will there be a Five Nights at Freddy's 4?
That dude who makes those games is a weird dude. so who knows?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
That dude is like,
Um,
he used to make like biblical games, and then he felt like, from what I understand of hearing interviews, like he felt like his calling was to make these games. So, oh, I don't know.
It's weird.
there's a pretty definitive answer, and it's no. When you unlock the 100% ending for Five Nights at Freddy's 3, it kind of solidifies that the spirits of the children who like
We're
was
trapped
influenced
in
inside of
yeah.
we're trapped in the animatronics were put to rest. So
If you do the ending correctly, yeah.
yeah, if you get the 100% good ending for Five Nights at Freddy's 3, so unless it's like a prequel, I don't think so. Which it could be a prequel.
It could. That'd be interesting, like to go back to the day of the incident and go through that, which
Yeah.
would be really extremely graphic. Is the one thing
And
I
also
would
different
say.
from every other game.
Right, but at the same time, like I would want to. Like I'm hard pressed to say he wouldn't do that because it's so graphic, but that game is pretty graphic to begin with.
Well,
Kind of.
I don't think it's very graphic. I
No,
think
but
it-
like the
It
image.
implies.
yeah, it implies a lot.
Right, but like the only part like a prequel that would be interesting in that is if you were like the guard that was on duty the night that shit happened and you go through like a regular shift, night shift and stuff like that. And then you have to deal with all that crap and then you're there during the day when this thing goes down. But like that seems like a pretty short first of all game. Secondly, really weird. Anytime you go anywhere with children and graphic images like that, you have to be really careful. That's hard to deal with. Like Five Nights at Freddy's kind of walks that line already.
I'm pretty sure that if you have physical harm coming to a child in your video game, it has to be rated NC-17. Or
Yeah, I
not
think
NC-17.
that's true.
that sounds right.
What's the one above
M?
mature?
NC-17.
No, there's
Oh,
one
adult
above
AO,
adults. They're
AO.
not allowed to
Yeah.
sell in stores.
AO.
AO, you're right.
AO, that's it. I'm pretty sure like that's the reason like in Skyrim children are invincible and you can't, cause any harm to them because
Yeah.
if that was a thing, the game would have to be rated AO and I think AO are not allowed to be put on shelves where the public can see them or something like that.
Yeah, you can't sell them in stores.
Yeah, it's basically a death wish and it's impossible to sell if they get that rating. So I feel like this wouldn't
Well,
happen.
he wasn't selling these in store anyway, but I'm not sure if Steam would sell it.
Steam
no,
does.
I mean,
Steam
like,
wouldn't sell
I
it.
think Steam would be subject to the same rules, and I think because of that, they would be kind of like you know what I mean? Like just the mechanics behind what you're talking about here, like just what you
Right.
the story of what you're talking about here would make it basically impossible to sell anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, what I'm saying is like I couldn't think of anything else they would have to cover in that universe, because they seem to have covered everything else, and I don't think that that's possible to do in a way that does that story justice in a video game. Like if that was a book, that would be something else. Like if he released like a short story about that was like a retelling of that situation, but like a video game, probably not.
Okay.
Thanks for the question.
That's a good
Yeah.
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. Hey, that actually wraps things up. That was the last of my questions.
Oh, cool.
We got chat. So, that's going to be it for us. If you want us to answer any questions from yours, come check out the chat in our stream, which we do live every Wednesday around 7 Central Time, or shoot me an email at casualcastshow@gmail.com. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/casualcast. Also, go check out our website. You can find all of the episodes there, all of the ones for LeagueCast, our other podcast, Vaultcast, and, a blog, all kinds of stuff. Like, it's pretty much the hub for everything related to Warfinch Media. So go check that out. It's warfinch.com. And if you want to support us, you can support us at patreon.com/warfinch. We'd be super appreciative. And you can get a lot of cool stuff for doing that. But that's going to be it for this week. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.